The government thinks that taking care of the people, of the most vulnerable, is non-essential services. I say if what I do is not essential, then nothing is essential.
This is Pastor Arthur.
Pastor Arthur, hi, I'm Nadine Wellwood. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you mind sharing a few words with us about, so tell me a little bit about what you've been doing with feeding the homeless. This is not something new for you, right?
No, I'm taking care of the poor and the most vulnerable for 21 years, so no, it's not a new thing to me. I feed thousands of people, and I established over 40 missions like this one in different countries, different continents, including Europe, Africa, United States. So taking care of the poor is not for me an option, it's a mandate. I'm a pastor. In the Bible, it's very clear. It says we are to take care of the homeless, the orphans, and the widows, and that's what I do. The government thinks that taking care of the people, of the most vulnerable, is non-essential services. I say if what I do is not essential, then nothing is essential. If giving food to the poor is non-essential, tell me what is. I come from communist Poland. I grew up under communist dictatorship. All this tyranny, dictatorship, police brutality, arrest 5 in the morning are I'm very familiar with them. When I emigrated to this country, I was promised by the government of Canada that those things will not happen to me, but they're happening. I have been arrested multiple times for taking care of the poor. I have faced over 100 court cases so far. We're talking about criminal charges. We're talking about Queen's Bench, provincial, Attorney General, 7 lawyers fighting us. We're talking about all this army of people coming down hard on us to stop, and to stop what? A church that feeds the poor. I say no more. I will not bow before this anymore. I got 3 children, and and this is my message for you Canadians. If you don't want to do it for yourself, don't. Do it for the kids. Because I grew up under this craziness, and it's not good. It's hell on earth. You don't want to face this. So what I see here today, it's a revolution. This is an uprising. That's what we need in this country. We need uprising. We need to clean the house. We need to remove those that are robbing us, destroying our houses, destroying our families, calling us non-essential, while at the same time saying we are in this together, while they're getting $20,000 salary every month. No, we're not in this together. If we are in this together, I say to you, give up your salaries just like the rest of us, and live on $900 every 2 weeks. Then you can say we're in this together.
And so tomorrow you're going to be at Olympic Park, correct?
Tomorrow I'm going to do what I am doing for the past 21 years. I'll feed the poor. I'll feed anyone that is of a need of food.
Thank you for doing. You know, this is not about politics, everyone. This is a man who for 21 years has fed the homeless, has fed the poor, who's fed those who needed help. And the government is now determined that he is no longer he's a non-essential service. They claim to want to do this for the greater good. Well, here's a man who's been doing it for the greater good with no publicity, with no need for fame or a desire to politically get involved. He's being dragged into this. And I'm going, I agree, enough is enough. If you support him, if you're able to make it out tomorrow, Olympic Park, what time, sir?
We will be there 1 o'clock. If you can come 12:30. I don't know what the government is going to do. I received 3 letters threatening me with $250,000 fine, jail, court, injunction. The whole book is being thrown at me right now.
$250,000 fine and a sentence to go to jail for feeding the hungry. We're just going to leave it at that.
The greatest crisis we have ever seen in this country. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like a repetition of history for me.
And so tell us a little bit about your time in Poland.
Well, you never knew if what you said is going to be taken in the wrong way. Police could come and arrest you and beat you up without consequences. Even though Poland had a constitution, no one respected constitution. The courts didn't respect it. The police didn't respect it. Crown prosecutors, politicians. It was like thugs, like mafia. The country was run like mafia. 50,000 communists were ruling over 36 million Poles until 81 came. And the people said enough. And they took it to the streets. And some died. And thousands, tens of thousands were arrested. But you know what happened? The power of unity broke the yoke of slavery. And Poland is one of the best democracies on the planet Earth right now.
And so what did it take for the people to finally say they had had enough?
They've lost everything. Unfortunately, people are very comfortable in this country. What happened in Poland, they've lost everything. They've lost their lives, their loved ones were in jail, you couldn't say anything, you couldn't criticize, there were no free media. Basically, you couldn't say anything, you could not even listen to a radio from Europe, 2 years jail time. If they caught you with $1 1 year jail time. I mean, it was crazy. Empty shelves, people had nothing. And when finally they had nothing, they said, enough. And they took it to the streets. And it was hard. It was 2 years fight, but they won their freedom. So I'm calling Canadians. It will cost you something. It will cost you something, but it's worth it. Freedom is worth it. What is worth a life of a man that is in shackles? It's a horrible, miserable life. We need to fight for our freedoms. Like I said, I have 3 children. If I'm not going to fight, who is going to fight for them? Who is going to stand up for them? I got 20-year-old kid, he wants to be a lawyer. I have 15-year-old son and a daughter 11. I want to be able to look in their eyes and say, you know, Daddy did what Daddy could. I stood, I fought, I pushed. The rest is up to God.
Thank you very much, sir, for your service.
Thank you. God bless.
We're in a moment of great crisis.